Alright, let's get into it. Jealousy sucks. It's a horrible feeling. For me, this is seeing someone else's success and feeling either inadequacy, I suck, they're better than me, I'm a failure, or resentment. They don't deserve that, I should have that, I'm being treated unfairly. Often, both of these at the same time, which is just the wonders of the human condition. And today, it's no surprise that we're particularly vulnerable to jealousy. I mean, social media is just an infinite feed of people just killing the game. 17-year-olds making $20 million, making you feel like an absolute failure. So of course, we're going to compare ourselves to what we see on this running highlight reel. The point is, it can feel like everywhere we look, we're being reminded of the myriad ways we just don't measure up. And that's bullshit. So here are 7 techniques that I use to remind myself that it's bullshit, that we're all awesome, and that jealousy is like LSD. A little bit can be quite useful, but too much of it and you end up having a panic attack running naked through an office works. I'm kidding, that didn't happen. It was a Coles. Number 1, self-care. Let's blast through this one because we all know it. Diet, sleep, exercise. It's overly simplistic, it's kind of annoying to hear it over and over, but it's true. I can't tell you how many times I've been depressed or jealous or anxious and I've thought my whole world was falling apart when I really just needed to eat something or sleep for a long time. I know when you're feeling really jealous, it can seem like there's something deeply wrong, but let's just hold up for a second before we take a pickaxe to our trauma minds. Sometimes you really are just tired or hungry or need to move around a bit. And no matter what, a bit of self-care is going to give you extra strength to face that demon anyway. So this is a net win for you no matter what. Things to try. Sleep for 7 to 8 hours for a couple of nights in a row. Go for a 10-minute walk, run with some of your favorite music. At the end of your shower, turn the tap to cold and just see how long you can handle it. That shock to the system really wakes me up and helps me get rid of some of the bullshit in my head. Eat something that makes you feel good after you're done eating. You know damn well what I'm talking about. Don't be getting on Uber Eats with the quadruple bypass chicken turducken beefy beef triple cheesy burger, okay? Although that sounds phenomenal. Something that doesn't make you feel like you're gonna have a child in the next 2 hours. Number 2, approach the monster with mindfulness. You might hate this, but let yourself feel the jealousy. You can't always think your way out of a problem. Often resisting negative emotions like jealousy just prolongs them. Think of it like a devil's snare in Harry Potter. The more you resist it, the more it constricts you.
You have to relax. If you don't, it'll only kill you faster. Kill us faster!
So if you're willing, I'd like to run an experiment. Set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes. Take a seat, relax, close your eyes, and breathe. Don't worry about deepening the breath, just let it appear however it comes. Now let your attention move towards the jealousy. Give it 100% of your focus. See if you can notice that, like any emotion, it's just a pattern of energy. Become actively interested in the physical sensation in your body. Where do you feel it? Is it in your gut? Is it behind the chest? Does the sensation change over time? Let yourself surrender to it completely. And once the timer is up, open your eyes, come back into the room. Now for me, when I do this with any difficult emotion, it immediately starts to peak as I put my attention on it, because I'm allowing it in. But very quickly, if I get past that peak, it seems to wash away and I actually end up letting go of a lot of it. It's the avoiding it and trying not to look at it that keeps it there for much longer than it needs to be. It's very cliche, but often the best way past it is through it. 3, stand on the shoulders of giants. This is an easy one, fun one, helps me all the time. Just go on the internet, go on YouTube and watch something inspiring. Brené Brown will be like the mother you already have but actually listen to. Just watch 2 minutes of her, anyone that inspires you, and see how you feel. And for those of you resisting the woo-woo self-help cult, I completely get it. I don't want Tony Robbins to absorb my life force either.
Tony Robbins hungry.
But just drop the defense mechanisms, lean into the cheese, and just give it a go. Quick tangent, if you are enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I hate that I'm the guy asking for this, but it's really helpful, and I love external validation, so if you could just put a number down there that I could just, ooh, that would be great. Now back to the video. 4, ditch the outcome, love the process. This is all based on Atomic Habits by James Clear, wonderful book. This is a long-term perception shift that completely changed the game for me. Focusing on outcomes leads to jealousy and comparison. Focusing on process leads to constant self-improvement and growth. So what's the difference? Outcome-based thinking is thinking about achieving goals, that the attainment of a goal will bring you satisfaction. And we know this doesn't work. For example, I used to look at certain Sydney stages and think, oh my god, if I could get in a play on that stage, then I would be enough. Then I would know I was talented, then I would know I was successful. 3 months later, I'd get on that stage. And it felt good for, I reckon, like 0.3 seconds. I'd get the call, you got the role, and I'd be like, oh, wow. And then I'd see another play and I'd think, oh, no. If I could get on that stage, then I'd be enough. Then I would know I was really talented. Get a call, you're on that stage now. Doesn't do anything. It's never enough. We know this. It's a shitty system that forces you to measure your self-worth against your achievements. And once you do that, you see someone else who's achieved more and you see them as more worthy than you. You're like a crack addict shooting external validation in your veins. So what's a better way? process-based thinking. So instead of focusing on attaining goals, you focus on your process, your daily habits. And the reason this works is because it's completely within your control. External goals may or may not happen, but your process is completely up to you. For example, I'm making these videos. I could tell myself I need 1,000 views on my next video, and that is not within my control. Or I could tell myself I'm going to make 2 good videos a week. That is something I can win every week, which just keeps me pushing further and further. If I put it on some external thing like a view count or a subscriber count, that may not come to pass, I'll get demoralized, and I might not do the work anymore. And more importantly, there's no one else to compare myself to. I set this goal for myself, I'm going to achieve it. All that energy spent comparing yourself is such a waste. What a waste of your time. Take that energy back. Take your energy back. Why am I going on a tirade? And you know what? Once you shift your focus to your process, those outcomes start to come your way anyway. Instead of desperately reaching for them, they just walk their way over to you as a happy byproduct of your new focus. 5. Articulate. If you're feeling extremely jealous, you can't get rid of it, and you have a friend that you're willing to talk to about it, I would strongly recommend letting them know how jealous you're feeling, even if you're jealous of them specifically. Now, I've done this with a lot of people in my life, and I've found basically 2 things. Number 1, I'm often comparing myself to an illusion. For example, I'll tell my friend, I'm feeling really jealous of you, you always seem so confident, I don't know how you do it, and they'll admit to me that often they don't feel confident at all. They're very anxious, and they don't know what they're doing. And it just reminds me that we're all human, and I'm not so uniquely terrible and horrible, you know? We all suffer from these same things, we all fall into the same traps. And number 2, they'll often say that they've been feeling jealous of me, and I'll be like, you jealous of me? You've been jealous of me? You're telling me you've been jealous of me? That's great! And they're often jealous of me because of qualities that I don't even acknowledge in myself because I take them for granted. Which, for me, is a beautiful reminder that we often tend to completely ignore the things we have and only see the things that we lack. So give it a crack, because if you hold it in, especially with a friend, it'll just grow into this shitty, festering resentment. And resentment is the worst feeling, because then you feel more inadequate for getting resentful, which will make you more inadequate, which makes you more resentful, and this will just continue until the earth explodes. 6. Jealousy is a treasure map. This is where we exercise some gratitude for the jealousy. Now, how would you do that, do you ask? We can be grateful for our jealousy because it is a treasure map to our highest held desires and values. This is because we only get jealous when we recognize our realized potential in others, which means you already have those qualities. Otherwise, you wouldn't get triggered. So I'll often try to thank my jealousy for giving me that little guiding star towards the person that I want to be. Number 7, break glass in case of emergency. Sometimes you just feel like absolute shit and none of these techniques help. So what do you do then? For me, 2 things. Number 1, I remind myself that I'm going to die and that no one is ever going to remember me and that none of this really matters. That just, for some reason, takes a lot of the pressure off. It's a little bit nihilistic, but it really works. It just gives me a little bit of extra strength. You'd be like, f it, who cares? Who cares? No one's going to remember any of this in 3,000 years. Except for you. They'll remember you, because you're special. Number 2, the world deserves your best. This little reminder helps me take the attention off myself and my jealousy. When you're at your best, the world is a better place. You connect with people, you brighten up their lives, you give more. It just helps me remember that I'm not even working on myself just for myself. I'm working on myself for the better of everyone. And that's it. I hope some of these techniques were helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of them out and what your results were. Thank you so much for watching, and as always... Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you're better than everyone. Don't let anyone tell you you're better than them, because you're better than everyone.